Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. That's great to wake up every morning and think, I can't wait to see what my president had to say today because he's so awesome.
That's the word we're going with now? Okay.
In Fantasyland, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, if things were completely different than they are now, in an alternate universe where Joe Biden is not the president.
Sitting at the end of a long hallway at a nursing home in a wheelchair, begging to go home.
Yeah.
That's where he should be.
Getting the care that he needs. I don't know if he deserves it, but he needs it desperately. And his wife is behind bars for being such a hideous human being. In that universe, our president's awesome.
Be careful now, because if the criteria to be behind bars is a hideous human being, then Jeffy, our friend, might be there as well.
Nah, but he's fun. He's hideous in a fun way.
Okay. Hideously fun.
Jill is not. She is not fun.
No.
She's the opposite of fun. All right. So yesterday, Biden made another civil rights claim.
This is his little
the deal
Labor Day speech thing. Yeah. I didn't.
So it wasn't yesterday. It was a couple days ago.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
All right. Here he is talking about how he got very engaged in his case in the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
I got very engaged in my case in the civil rights movement.
Sure you did.
And as a kid, I worked a lot in the movement and I got deeply involved in the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party in Delaware was a Southern Democratic Party then.
Wait, hold on.
Wow.
More a Southern state than a Northeastern state.
Then you're not involved with civil rights.
And one thing led to another. And one day a group came to me of the senior members of the party.
All right.
They said they wanted me to run for the Senate.
Okay. Wow. I mean, over and over and over, he's talked about this, and then he's actually denied it, and people have fact-checked it and debunked it.
And part of your case is that the Democrat Party in Delaware was
Southern
Democrats?
Democrats, yeah.
Then you're not involved with the civil rights movement, bro. You're trying to stop it.
And people forget Delaware was a slave state. You know, they think it's too far north. But no, somehow they managed.
This guy
he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He didn't march in the civil rights. He didn't get hugely involved. He didn't do any of that. That's been fact-checked. He just keeps going because he's so compromised, for one thing, mentally. He doesn't know what he said and what he hasn't said, what he's lied about, what's been debunked. He has no idea. So he just keeps repeating same old lies.
Part of his street cred that he tries to lay out there during that speech was that, he was the only white lifeguard at the local swimming pool.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. You remember? We know about his experience at the swimming pool there in town.
We sure do.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Pat's been doing double duty.
Yeah.
And so the box is...
So it's not hooked up properly right now.
Okay. So
if you talk for a second...
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Because if you'll recall, he had some encounters with little kids playing with his leg hairs. No, but that's where he ran into Corn Pop. And in hindsight, if Corn Pop was probably the good guy. Am I right?
Probably.
I mean, he could have saved us a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
If only Joe Biden had showed up after the pool closed.
Right.
I got hairy legs that turn that turn. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Ugh.
So it was straight, and then watch the hair
come back up again. Okay.
They look at it.
And then look at
roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Okay.
So I love kids jumping on my lap.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, some interesting stuff there.
There's a lot there.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there's racism.
You can't play that
attraction
thing
to children
and analyze it enough.
I know,
because there's a lot of creepy stuff in it, and you just can't do it all in one fell swoop.
Attorney General of the state of Delaware, and what he used to do is go down on the east side, what called the bucket, highest crime rate in the country.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place where I was the only white guy that worked as a lifeguard.
Oh,
down
there.
in that
Oh,
area,
okay.
on the east side.
He's still doing that one too.
And you know where you can always tell where the best basketball in the state is, and the best basketball in the city is.
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
This guy is such a racist. Whatever, man. We're Frank Grimes at the power
To
plant.
him, black people play basketball.
Yeah.
That's his deal. And to him, black people vote Democrat. And so if you don't vote Democrat, if you don't vote for him, you're not black.
I'm telling you, man.
My gosh.
It's right there.
Sure is.
Okay, well.
Every time he opens his mouth, he shows you who he is.
And whenever he does this and tries to make these civil rights era claims, Jake Tapper, kudos to him. He is always on top of this.
Yeah. You know, Jake Tapper's Achilles heel is Donald Trump. He hates Donald Trump like the rest of the media. So he was out of control for those 4 years because I think he just hates Donald Trump just as much as the rest of the media does. So he wasn't objective at all about Trump. But, you know, now that Trump's gone and he's got other things to deal with, he'll call out the left sometimes. I mean, he's getting back to where he should be and where he was at one time. You know, when they're making this big change at CNN, I wouldn't be upset if they kept Jake Tapper. And, you know, maybe even Anderson Cooper. Maybe. Although Cooper kind of has slipped in journalistic tendency. All right, just clean house. Just get him rid
Clean
of
house,
them all.
yeah.
Clean house.
Okay.
Yeah. Here he is, though, calling out Joe again on this.
He lied to voters, according to the New York Times, quoting aides of Biden's, about having marched in the civil rights movement. This is Biden making this false claim in 1987.
When I marched in the civil rights movement,
oh, man,
I did not march with a 12-point program. I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes.
And the New York Times reports, quote, more than once, advisors had gently reminded Mr. Biden of the problem with this formulation. He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement, and more than once, Mr. Biden assured them that he understood and kept telling the story anyway. That is really, really weird.
Yes, it is. I mean, he's right about that. And I love the fact that in the late 80s, they really called him out on this stuff. Over and over and over again, Biden claimed outrageous lies about himself. Like, you remember all the scholastic stuff? Where he graduated with 3 degrees. No, he didn't. He graduated top of his class. No, he didn't. And what was the other lie? There were 3 of them, and they debunked them all. But outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
And they clearly corrected each and every one of them.
Remember, he kept ripping off speeches.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
yes,
just,
he did that too. Plagiarism.
How is this guy
lying, cheating, stealing? This guy has done it all.
I mean, how? Not how is he the president? Not how is he in politics? How is he employed anywhere?
Yeah, I know. I know. If not in jail, he's probably done more criminal enterprising than anybody else in American politics today. Well, with the possible. Of course, Hillary Clinton's not in an elected capacity, so he's probably done more criminal enterprising than anybody else in American politics.
And he's going to get us involved in World War III, trying to cover his tracks on that.
He's trying. He's trying. I think he'd love to. I think he'd love to send troops. Earlier this year, of course, he said he was arrested during the civil rights movement. So not only did he march, he got arrested.
I did not walk in the shoes of generations of students who walked these grounds, but I walked other grounds because I'm so damn old I was there as well.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
They think I'm kidding, man.
What, that you walked somewhere?
Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
Nice try.
Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway. Then he realized he's already been called on that. If you get arrested anyway.
He tried.
Amazing.
He tried.
It's amazing how he tries to self-aggrandize all the time and gets caught in it, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Democrats don't care. They just don't care. I mean, you would think they'd be looking around for somebody else at least. All right, let's get rid of this freaking guy. And I don't know, put a Gavin Newsom in there. I mean, he's terrible too. But at least he's not ancient. He doesn't have Alzheimer's.
There we go.
He doesn't have dementia.
Gavin Newsom 2024. At least I'm not ancient.
At least I don't have dementia.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a selling point now to become president. At least I don't have dementia.
That's where they're at.
That's a good point.
Party is right there.
It's a good point. We got about half the freaking government right now who has dementia.
So they don't have Hillary Clinton because, she's to be believed when she says there's no way I'm ever running for president again.
Now, she could change that this afternoon.
Right, but she's out there making the rounds promoting this stupid Apple TV show of hers where she sits around and paints and clucks with other hens.
No, she paints?
Yeah, that's.
What is it, Bob?
I think it was with...
Remember the guy on public television? What was his
Bob
name?
Ross?
Bob Ross.
No,
it's a Bob Ross kind of show?
Yeah, sure. No, that's...
We'll just put one of these little guys
No,
over
that's
here.
just on the trailer. Is like she's painting with somebody next to a pool. I don't know. It's so dumb. But
is it a View type situation? What is she doing?
Kinda, yeah.
Is it?
According to the trailer, which we don't have, it's okay. You're not missing anything. But she just sits around with other women and talks about stuff.
I can't. Who would watch that? Seriously.
No, don't get it, Rob. Rob's like, stand by. I'm getting the trailer. No, I don't want the trailer. I wasn't leading you to that. So she's making the rounds with Chelsea. Because, as people are pointing out, why is Chelsea with her everywhere she goes? That's interesting. I think it's a health thing myself. But she's on The View yesterday, and she's going to tell us why she wears pantsuits.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
You also reveal why you wear a pantsuit.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Evil, right?
Pause for a second.
You saw that too.
You also reveal why you wear pantsuits. Yes.
What is it with her eyes, man?
That's such a big deal. I mean, everybody's been clamoring to know, why does Hillary Clinton wear pantsuits? I've been dying to know.
But that's what you tell us in the thing, correct?
Yes.
There it is. Wow.
That's really weird.
Spooky.
Start at the beginning again.
Okay,
That's really something. First
You
of all,
also reveal why you wear a pantsuit.
Yes. I didn't know that story.
I didn't know
I
the
didn't
story.
know that story.
Oh,
It's like by far and away the greatest
Wow.
revelation I had.
A state visit to Brazil led to some compromising photographs.
Uh-oh.
I was sitting on a couch and the press was let in. There were a bunch of
What?
Wait,
What
happened?
Wait, what happened? Oh, we got to know about the pantsuit.
you stopped the story before she even really
Oh.
gets into it. That's weird.
The pantsuit. We got to have the
All
rest
right.
of the pantsuit story.
So, did somebody take an inappropriate picture of her underwear or something?
Yeah.
She crossed her legs improperly and somebody got a photo of
Yeah,
that?
well,
why would that ever happen?
with her eyes really
Who would-
wide, she tells us the
ick.
story, and we'll have to get back to that, Riley. That's
Ick.
interesting. What happened with I think the VCR broke in the other room.
I was in Brazil, and that's it. Okay,
Yeah,
you were
there we
in
go.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you
And
need.
all
I mean,
right.
you know how they do things in
that's why
Brazil.
you wear pantsuits. Okay,
Right.
I got it.
So I guess they, I don't know. We're going to try to get that clip, but she,
That's crazy.
I
Who would ever? Ick. Why? You would,
mean, there's more to
you
this,
would
too.
break the freaking camera. Well, so what was this when she was first lady?
Oh, no. Rob's got the
Or-
trailer. Here's your trailer for the show.
All
In their
right.
new Apple TV Plus show,
No.
Gutsy, Hillary and Chelsea
Gutsy.
Clinton found unique ways to shine a light on the important work being done by both celebrities and everyday heroes. The mother-daughter duo opened up about the legal trivia contest with criminal justice reform advocate Kim Kardashian that proved particularly humbling for one of them.
under what circumstances
justice
may
reform
one
advocate
use
Kim
deadly
Kardashian.
force
When
to
can
defend themselves? Yes.
When one is being faced with deadly force themselves or one believes that deadly force is imminent.
Was it humbling to lose that contest to her secretary?
Oh, yeah. I've seen
Oh,
this.
it was heartbreaking. Oh my god.
This isn't the trailer I
I
saw.
think it's also she just needs to work on her reaction time, Sandra. It was like sometimes I could see my mom knew what the answer was, but she wouldn't hit the buzzer in time.
Ah,
Well, I was
okay.
also really intrigued by how well she did. I wanted to,
put the spotlight on her. Not that she needs it, but she's worked really hard to get that.
Yeah, how many sex tapes has she
No,
released
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
get to where she is today? I mean, that's really true.
I don't think you could really see that because they do like the buzzer sort of soundtrack in the series, but what you don't see is like, Kim would hit it, and then my mom would be like, "Oh wait, no, I would hit it too." So
are you intrigued? Are you going to watch this now?
Yeah.
Oh, you kidding me?
Correct.
Mom.
All right. Wow, Kim Kardashian. She's famous. Seriously, honestly. Okay, you had the OJ trial.
Okay.
Nobody knew who the hell they were at the time. Nobody knew anything about the Kardashians. Nobody. Then you have the OJ trial. Her dad, right? Wasn't he Robert Kardashian?
I don't know.
It's her dad.
Okay.
And
what was his role in the OJ trial? I seriously don't know.
He was one of OJ's lawyers. He was a good friend.
Okay.
A good friend of OJ. Okay, well, if a couple of years later, she releases this, or I don't know if she released it or somebody released, I guess, a sex tape of her with somebody. I don't know.
It's education for me.
First anybody had ever heard of Kim Kardashian. This is Rob Kardashian's daughter naked on tape.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, wow. That's exciting.
And the rest is history.
And then because of that, honestly, they got the Kardashians or living with the Kardashians, growing up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, I knew all the shows.
Yeah.
That's where they came from. Huh?
So absolutely no talent. She did. What has she ever done to be famous? Nothing.
She would have made a heck of a first lady if Kanye had been duly elected. But America, you blew your chance.
Yeah, dang it. Yeah, darn.
I'm telling
Missed
you, though,
opportunity.
You know, and everybody listening knows that Kanye West would have been 100 million times a better president than Joe Biden.
Oh, please.
That's what we're back to. We're back to, I just need an American that loves America.
My
in the office
would have been a better president than Joe Biden.
But does your shoe love America? That's my only standard now.
Yes, my shoe loves America.
Okay.
Yeah. So just based on that, my shoe would be better.
True.
But there's other factors that make my shoe better.
Pat Shoe 2024.
My shoe doesn't have dementia. So
we're back to dementia 2024. Just say no.
Who would watch the Hillary Clinton show? Who would watch that? Gutsy.
With
Hillary Clinton. Come on.
It'll be fun.
Let me tell you about Rough Greens. My dog would be a better president than Joe Biden. And my dog is a lot more active than Joe Biden because of Rough Greens.
Yeah.
We sprinkle Rough Greens on my dog's food, and that puts back into the food the vitamins and minerals and probiotics and the antioxidants and all the nutrients that are missing out of almost all dog foods because during the sterilization process, so the food will last, 3 years on the grocery store shelf. All of that stuff is burned right out of it.
Would you want anything? Would you want to consume
that lasts for 3 years?
Anything that's been on the shelf for 3 years at a grocery store?
No, probably not.
No. So
probably
why
not.
would you do that to your dog?
Exactly. You love your dog. You want them to have good things like you do. So Rough Greens will send you a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out for a couple days. All you have to pay is the shipping, just to make sure your dog is going to love it as much as my dog does. Just go to roughgreens.com, RUFFgreens.com, roughgreens.com, or 833-783-3364.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And Hillary Clinton discussed fascism, I guess, on The View as well. Oh, this has got to be fun.
Now, look, I don't know if it's because I'm always, a nanosecond from going completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get angry watching this clip. Instead,
Really?
I laughed for the full 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And I don't know why that is a healthy thing. You be the judge. Watch
All
this.
right.
So this past week, as President Biden gave a speech on democracy and the threats to it, as a Republican, I've been outspoken that I think it's one of the biggest issues facing our country. But I did worry that by using the language saying many who support the former president are semi-fascist or leaning toward it was divisive. I know you experienced when you used the term deplorables quite a bit of backlash from
Pause
the right.
Pause it for a second. Who is this?
Is
she a new View host?
Yeah,
or
it's
is
the
this
new
a
Republican
guest?
who hates Trump.
Oh, she does.
That's all I've heard is the new Republican on The View.
Good.
Can't stand Trump.
Great.
That's all
perfect.
I know. I don't know her name. I didn't bother to Google it.
I'm
starting to now. Republican, The View.
And here it is.
Okay.
The president met the right tone, or do you think that this was divisive and could have been framed better?
Like she's going to say.
You know,
yeah, it is.
I think he did a very important service to the country in giving the speech that he gave, because too many people are not yet aware of how fragile our democracy is.
We don't have
and
a democracy!
The language he used, because there has been so much that has gone beyond anything I ever would have dreamed of, starting with January 6th. But so many threats of violence and concerns that people are expressing about the country, coming apart and all of that. So I think he did a real service, and I personally thought it was a strong and necessary speech.
Did you?
And I would not second guess any of the language. The final thing I would say is, look, fascism is a very big word. I know that. But so is socialism, and the Republicans call every Democrat who wants people to have health care a socialist.
No.
So I think we do need to be careful with our language, but I think the problem is if you go through the hallmarks of authoritarian regimes,
Joe Biden.
you see too many characteristics, unfortunately,
in Joe Biden.
On our Republican side. And my most fervent hope is that Republicans themselves will begin to reject all of that verbally, vocally in their voting, and kind of reconstitute the Republican Party to where it used to be, and not the party of Trump, which I think is very dangerous to the country.
Party of Eisenhower.
Yeah. Clap, you lemmings. So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. So she would hope that, the Republican Party start calling out these people. Because that Trump, man, he is a fascist. The Democrats, on the other hand, they're so mainstream, that they've changed every single one of their policies since the 1990s. Everything is different in the Democrat Party. All of it. They've gotten so extreme that they used to always say John F. Kennedy wouldn't recognize his party. He wouldn't recognize that he was in the same country. He would think he was in the Soviet Union. They've gone so far away from JFK that it's mind-boggling. I mean, they changed their position on immigration to allowing it now when they were all shocked by it back in the day. They've all talked about it, including Harry Reid, who became maybe the most radical among them. They've changed their policies on abortion. They wanted it safe, effective, and rare. Wow, that's completely out the window. Plus, they wanted it, to 21 weeks. It was what Roe v. Wade claimed. And now, as you're being born, you can be murdered. Coming out the birth canal. They'll stop the process, jam a knife in the spine of the baby, suck out the brains. That's what they do. I mean, it is barbaric. It is unconscionable. And they're almost all in favor of it. None of them want a single restriction on abortion.
Yeah, and I can't.
They won't even identify a woman.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah.
But it's the Republicans who are so out of control.
They're the crazy ones. Yeah. And but you talk about JFK and what he would think about this country, and never mind his party, like you said. One of the great, and I can't find it here off the top of my head, but one of the greatest economic focused speeches of any president ever was from JFK. talking about tax rates and what we need to do to stimulate the economy. In fact, after he died, they passed the huge tax cut in honor of him. But no, I think this should be, this needs to be in the machine over there at some point. But it's just ironic that you were talking about JFK and not recognizing this country. But he gave a speech, and there was this one line that I think is just perfect that applies today. It goes a little something like this. I believe that this nation should commit itself. There you go. I believe that this nation should commit itself. Full stop. I should. Yeah. I'm going to send that to you because I think we're going to get a lot of use out of JFK saying, I believe that this nation should commit itself.
No kidding. Wow.
But exactly.
Well, and how about his theory? Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. He'd be laughed out of the party now.
Right. How dare they hold him up as this lion of the Democrat Party?
Oh. No.
When they have no respect for any of his policies or anything he ever said.
Nope. That guy would be a conservative Republican today. If he didn't change any of his policies, he'd be considered a conservative Republican. That's how far the stinking Democrats have gone. So extreme that the face of their party is Karl Marx. That is as extreme as you can get, that the Democrat Party has gone so far left that the Communist Party endorsed their candidate.
Doesn't even bother running anyone.
It's incredible.
The Republican who was talking with Hillary Clinton there, she is Alyssa Farah Griffin. She is a Trump critic, but she was also the press secretary for Vice President Mike Pence.
Oh.
And then she actually was in the Department of Defense as a spokesperson, press secretary over there. And then she was actually in charge of communications at the White House. But no, I was just looking at tweets of hers.
Huh.
She's no fan of Donald Trump.
Interesting. When she worked in the Trump administration, huh? With Pence.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. These tweets are just real recent. So I don't know what she was saying publicly a couple years ago. But there you go.
I don't think I've ever seen her before.
I'm not familiar at all. Alyssa Farah Griffin.
Speaking of Hillary, here's a story that's getting little attention. Her nonprofit, Hillary's nonprofit, funneled $75,000 to a far-left defund the police group. Oh, but they never said defund the police.
Right.
They were always all about the police. What do you mean defund the police? That's not us. Republicans are the ones who did that. So the group whose affiliate worked on a failed attempt to dismantle and replace the Minneapolis Police Department, Onward Together, which Clinton launched in 2017 to be part of the resistance against former President Trump, pushed the general support grant to the Washington, D.C.-based Alliance for Youth Action sometime between April 1st, 2020 and March 31st, 2021.
Okay, so Hillary Clinton's group gives money to this group.
Yep.
And what do we know about this group, Pat?
Well, the Alliance for Youth Action says the policing system, quote, was founded on slave patrols and continues to target and murder black people, unquote. And blacks defunding law enforcement as a step toward outright abolishment. That's what they back. Defunding law enforcement as a step toward outright abolishment of police departments everywhere. Centering black people in our work means it's time to divest from police. But they never said this. The Democrats never wanted the police defunded.
And they would say, well, we didn't. We just gave money to groups that did.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So they're liars, they're cheats, and they're extremists in a way that's hard to even get your head around. First of all, they wanted to defund the police. Then they want to disarm you. So you're at the mercy of criminals everywhere. Wouldn't that be nice? Would you like that? I mean, come on. They don't make any sense. But again, watch out for those Republicans.
Yeah.
They're extreme. They're really extreme.
I asked the question on Twitter the other day, and it's a sincere one. Is there anything that the left is not trying to destroy in this country? Can you think of anything? Oh, I think the best answer was insider trading rules that don't apply to them. Yeah. But other than that,
They're not trying to destroy big government.
Nope.
I'll say that for them. They're trying to bolster that.
Mm-hmm.
More coming up in just a second. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Making the apocalypse fun since 2017. It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
Here's an interesting factoid. Our Vice President Kamala Harris didn't eat a grape until she was in her 20s. Never ate a grape. Huh. Okay.
What was the issue there?
Crossing a picket line. Apparently, unions had somehow boycotted the grape industry. And so, because she was so supportive her whole life of unions, she refused to buy a grape and never tasted one until she was in her 20s. And then when she finally did, she thought, hey, that was really quite tasty. She said, this sounds quaint. No, it sounds like a flat-out lie is what it sounds.
Yes.
And I'm so reluctant to say it, but, I didn't eat a grape until I was in my 20s. Like, literally never had a grape. This is the leadership in the United States of America. Incredible. I remember the first time I had a grape, I went, wow, this is quite tasty. It absolutely ingrained. It was so ingrained, so deeply in me. Never cross a picket line. The lengths these people go to, to self-aggrandize, it's unbelievable. Really insane. But you have to sit back and kind of admire, like, wow, that's a stretch. So you didn't eat a grape until your 20s. Okay.
I mean, look, there's a principle. That's her principle.
Yeah.
Not going to cross a picket line, even if grapes are tasty.
Did you ever have a glass of wine? I wonder. She doesn't mention that. It's part of the grape family there, as a rule. So, I don't know. And, of course, people fact check this. The grape boycott didn't start till she was 19 years old in 1984.
Why do they do this?
It ended when she was 36. So in your 20s, you had a grape because you were so supportive of the unions?
That's a good point, yeah.
Little premature there, Puddin'.
Even I could figure that math out.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not even worth it.
I mean, there's so many things.
Yes.
In December of 2020, she claimed that her family had celebrated Kwanzaa every year since she was a child. But, of course, when they fact-checked that, the timeline showed the holiday had been invented only 2 years after she was born. In February 2019, said in an interview that she listened to iconic rappers Tupac and Snoop Dogg while smoking marijuana in college. But, of course, somebody fact-checked. Timeline didn't work there either. Sorry. These guys didn't release albums, and Snoop Dogg especially, until the 90s. 1993, I believe. Yeah. But
that feels right.
Somehow she was listening to his music even before he produced it. That's impressive.
That's called a stalker.
Yeah. I mean, she's terrible. They're all terrible, but it's amazing how they just look us right in the eye, spit in our face, and tell you, I am not here. Huh. All right. So you're not here. I wish you weren't.
Yeah.
But sadly you are.
Well, speaking of just being terrible, do you want to revisit the Hillary Clinton pantsuit now? Now I feel like it's not even worth it.
We find out the history of why she started wearing them?
Yeah. Now I'm just like not into it, but
all right, here it is.
Every episode.
You also reveal why you wear a pantsuit.
Big eyes.
Yes. I didn't know that story. I didn't know that story. It's like by far and away the greatest revelation I had.
A state visit to Brazil led to some compromising photographs.
I was sitting on a couch and the press was let in. There were a bunch of them shooting up.
Some of those photos were then used to sell lingerie.
And
what?
All of a sudden, the White House
that's a stock that's got to be plummeting.
To these billboards that show me sitting down with, I thought my legs together, but the way it's shot, it's sort of suggestive.
I will not be
then
Googling this.
I also began to have the experience of having photographers all the time. I'd be on a stage, I'd be climbing stairs, and they'd be below me. It's so creepy. I just couldn't deal with it.
Oh,
So
get out of here. They're trying to get upskirts of Hillary Clinton.
That's right. That's exactly.
No, thank you.
Come on.
Come on.
Right?
What really happened was somebody got a photo of her cankles. And she was like, oh, I got to cover those up.
Yeah.
I'm going to start wearing pants.
That's a bad look. So, wait, hold on. There's a company out there that was trying to sell lingerie.
Based on Hillary.
Off of Hillary Clinton photos in Brazil.
They went out of business 2 days later. Completely bankrupt in 2 days. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Oh.
How stupid do they think we are? It's really amazing. Wow. Yeah, everybody was trying to get an upskirt shot of Hillary, so she started wearing pantsuits.
Well.
Okay.
You can go back to dresses now.
Incredible. Well, let's check in with what's happening in Ukraine. We keep sending money, more and more of it, to help in their fight.
Yeah, Anthony Blinken's over there now. He snuck in overnight.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because he wants to announce, he just announced $2 billion in more aid from us.
This is getting ridiculous.
Money laundering.
Every week.
Mm-hmm.
$2 billion here, $40 billion there, $700 million more. Then another $3 billion, then another $2 billion. And then we'll do $1.5 billion.
What is the cost to hide Joe Biden's crimes? That's what we're learning.
Yeah, and it's obviously a high cost. It's a big price we're paying right now.
And it's going to get even bigger as it leads us into war.
But let's check out the latest in Ukraine.
What do we got going on there? Oh, look at that. Look at that.
The war-torn country.
War-torn nation of Ukraine. Just dancing it up at the club.
Wow.
Boy, I'm glad. What would they be doing if not for our aid?
Wow.
We allow them to...
That's a bad look.
Keep dancing.
That's a bad look. I mean, I guess everything doesn't shut down always when you're at war, but still, that's a bad look. Jeez.
No, it's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm telling you, though, that it's not just us sitting here that are upset about how money is being spent over there. I mean, there are massive protests in the streets of Europe, in European cities, over the funding of Ukraine. And Europe's about to boil over, city after city, if it's not because
For a whole bunch of reasons.
For a whole bunch of reasons. Whether it's Ukraine, the cost of living,
climate change regulations that are driving their costs out of control where they can't even heat their homes. They're not going to be able to heat their homes this winter, and things are really going to get bad there.
There was
really,
a
really
town
bad.
in Germany that there was a place that was going to be delivering, I forget if I don't think it's tanks, but it was some military equipment. And they blocked the doors. They were like, no, this stays here. And the police had to drag the protesters away.
Wow.
Because of the shipment that was headed out to Ukraine. So anyway, Europe's not happy with this.
No. And Ukrainian hackers set up fake accounts of attractive women to trick Russian soldiers into sending them photos.
Now, I love this. This is how you fight a war.
Which they located and passed to the Ukrainian military. Pretty smart.
That's so funny.
Nikita Nish, a 30-year-old IT professional from Kharkiv, said that when Russia's invasion began, he wanted to use his hacking skills to help his country. He recruited other hackers and founded a group nicknamed Hacky Yeoman.
Oh, okay.
Hacky Your Mom?
Yeah, Hack Your Mom.
Yeah.
Hack Your Mom.
Hack Your Mom. Not Hacky, but Hack Your Mom, which now consists of 30 hackers across the country. Last month, he said they duped Russian soldiers. So great. By creating fake accounts pretending to be attractive women on several social media platforms. The hackers were able to get to know Russian soldiers and ultimately convince them to send photos of them on the front. The Russians, they always want to, he said. They send a lot of I'll see, stuff to girls to prove that they're warriors. Once the soldiers sent the pictures, the hackers were able to identify that they had been taken from a remote Russian military base near the occupied town of Melitopol in southern Ukraine. They transferred the information to Ukraine's military, and several days later, the base was attacked.
That's good stuff.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
Wow. That's creative. But when it comes to the sanctions, Russia's kind of figured this out.
Oh, gosh.
They're getting around them pretty well, and it's really not hurting them much, if at all. Russian state-controlled bank VTB announced that it has set up a system to send money transfers to China in yuan without using the SWIFT messaging system, bypassing international sanctions and sparking more fears of increased cooperation between China and Russia.
Ta-da! I'm telling you, man, we have let's just say, Joe Biden has walked us into
a mess,
an incredible mess, to the point where, now we launched that ICBM test the other day in California. It feels like the Cold War.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of flexing our muscles, say, look, see, we still have missiles, yo.
Yeah.
But we are creating an alliance between Russia, China, and India. And I have said for decades that when World War III comes, having India as an ally is going to be the most important thing. They're getting flipped. That's a population base that you want on your side.
And what we've done is push Russia and China together. They're not natural allies.
Right.
But they've become allies because they both hate America equally. And so they've forged that bond through this war. China's helping them. India's getting involved. It's just not good.
No, and we're talking about the selling of their oil. Well, they're not giving it to Europe now. They're finding other markets for it. And meanwhile, we're siphoning off our strategic oil reserve to sell to other countries. I mean, it's madness. It is. It always leads back to the Pat line. If you were trying to destroy this country, what would you do differently?
The answer, of course, is nothing. Yeah. They're already doing it all. Let me take a minute and tell you about Built Bars, because they are delicious. You'll thank us for turning you on to these things. If you like a good snack throughout the day, but you don't want to pack on the pounds doing it, this is just really great news. Built Bar saves the day for you. They've got so many flavors. There's something for everybody. It really tastes like a candy bar. This is not like your normal protein bar.
I love it.
They really taste great. And Built Bar fans are just passionate about their favorite flavors because they have amazing flavors. Coconut, mint brownie, double chocolate. I really love the salted caramel. Cookies and cream. Just a lot more. And if you can't pick a flavor right off the bat, you think, well, these all sound good. Just try the mixed box where you'll get 2 of each of their 9 regular flavors. Built Bars have up to 18 grams of protein. And they're 180 calories or less, just 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 net carbs, but you would not know it by tasting them. Plus, it's just a great company. I mean, this whole this whole image and likeness thing in college football, they were the first to jump in and say, you know what, we're not going to just make this a deal for the elites. We're going to give everybody on the team, all 120 players, and especially we're going to start with the preferred walk-ons because they don't have scholarships. We're going to pay their way through school so they can just concentrate on other things.
That's great.
Really cool. Go to Built.com, use a promo code PAT15, and save 15% off your first order. Use promo code PAT15 for 15% off at Built.com.
Pat Gray.
So while Joe Biden is helping Russia with their economy, he's, of course, destroying ours. It's $100 worth these days, just compared to 3 years ago. Exactly how much has our spending power been diminished by inflation this year? Well, $1 is worth about 86% of its value from 3 years ago. 86 cents on the dollar. Wow. That means an item that cost $100 in 2019 would be $115 today. In more tangible terms, $100 on brunch with a friend will get you one less mimosa.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Or the equivalent of about $15 less than it did in 2019. Going back even further, $100 worth of spending in the year 2000 would now cost $172.
Go.
A $100 shopping spree in 1980 would set you back a whopping $359 at today's prices. That was only 40 years ago. So $100 today, if you went shopping, you bought $100 worth of stuff. That same stuff would cost you $359 to put in your basket today.
Oh.
Current rate of inflation, which is more than quadruple the Fed's annual target of 2%. Jeez. And wages are not keeping up with the inflation either. And what I love is, in addition to the inflation, there's also the shortages. Really weird stuff that you go to the grocery store and think, all right, I'm going to pick me up some. Oh, no, I'm not. It's not here.
Not going to be doing that.
There's not a single item where it usually is. You notice that? I mean, weird stuff, too, sometimes. Like
it's the third worldification of America. It's well underway. I'm trying to find somebody. Somebody sent us this. Jeff Robinson listens to the show, and he's showing that shrinkflation, where companies just sell smaller amounts at the same price, so that you don't feel like you're paying more. Well, he said that Kraft is apparently too lazy to even change the packaging on their cheese sticks. This actually cheese stick should go to here. Gosh. Instead, we've got this little gap here now. And he said that this is Biden's Build Back Better shrinkflation. But there you go. And wonderful, right?
Incredible, yeah. Really something. And we've talked about Stu's situation where he ordered a car over a year ago.
Yeah.
Over a year ago. He still doesn't have it. Just incredible. And it doesn't have to be a special car either or a super expensive one. You go try to buy a car today at a dealership. And I've tried this in Texas and Utah. They just don't have them. There's no way to get a new car. Most of the time at most of the dealerships. It's really, I've never seen anything like it. And then shortages, like we keep going to Sam's Club trying to buy bottles of water. Not there.
What?
There's week after week after week after week.
What?
I mean, they have the crappy kind, but they don't have the spring water. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
It's just gone. And I keep asking them, is there some kind of problem? Yeah, they were supposed to do a shipment again today, and they didn't. Wow.
Time to reintroduce your family to the tap.
I can't. I just can't go there. I can't, Keith.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Delve into the gas prices. We were just talking about inflation. Now the gas situation and winter coming up. Some scary times ahead. We'll get into that. But first, let me take 60 seconds. Tell you about Birch Gold Group. You know, the last time we went through a recession, there were stocks that literally went to zero. Washington Mutual. Remember them? In fact, we banked with Washington
Me
Mutual.
too, in Houston. Yeah.
And then it was just gobbled up because they went broke, essentially. But you had Washington Mutual, Lehman Brothers, Chrysler. Multiple blue chip stocks went to little or no value almost overnight. Could that happen again? Of course it could. And if it did, are your savings protected? Why not own something that's never been valued at zero? Gold. Historically, your best hedge against inflation, which is rising like the hockey stick, even as we speak. The savviest Americans diversify their savings to protect them from downturns in the market, and they could come at any time. Was it last week or the week before? The market went down by 1,006 points in a day. You just don't know. There's global instability and the failing dollar. Birch Gold Group helps you hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered retirement account. In fact, if you have a 401k or IRA that's underperforming, just please text PAT to 989-898 And you can convert that into an IRA in precious metals right now. Text PAT to 989-898. Birch Gold will send you a free info kit on diversifying into gold tax-free and how you hedge against inflation. They'll give you all of that information. Then you can make an informed decision. But get your free info kit now by texting PAT to 989-898.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
So Keith says he saw gas below $3 a gallon yesterday.
Yeah, and I took photographic evidence.
Oh, really? Because I was just going to tell you I don't believe it.
I figured as much. That's why I sent it to Rob. There it is, $2.99 a gallon.
Did you Photoshop that?
I don't know how to Photoshop.
Is that CGI? Is that what that is?
I don't know how to do that. I wish I did.
$2.99.
$2.99. There it was. Look at that diesel though. Still $4.65. Oh,
I love the $2.99.9 because you do save that 1/10 of a cent.
All right.
With your $3 bill, they give you a 1/10 of a cent back.
$3 bill. Look at that. There's a national average is $3.75. So I'm not satisfied with $2.99. People on Twitter were thinking so you're happy about that? No, at all. Not in the least.
But it's nice it dipped below $3.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that we're getting there very, very slowly.
Are we the cheapest in the country in Texas?
Yes, Texas is the cheapest. What is it? You got
$3.23 an average here.
Yeah, I think Hawaii and California are fighting for the top spot there.
Yeah, and in Hawaii, it's $5.3. So $5.30 a gallon.
Okay.
In California, it's $5.27. So it's $2.79. So it's like $5.28.
So it goes from
$5.28 a gallon.
Right. So $5.30 in Hawaii is the high. $3.23 Texas is the low. Our spot is the probably the lowest in the lowest state. So we are lucky us.
Mm-hmm.
Only paying $2.99.
Only.
Yeah,
$2.99.
only the $2.99.
$3 a gallon. We would have been horrified by that. $3 a gallon.
I'm telling you, man. You talk about Overton window time.
Yeah, for sure. Because we were teetering on the brink of $5 a gallon, even in Texas for a while.
As Barack Obama once said, what was it? Never overestimate the ability of Joe Biden to F things up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He also said when, what was it that was rising so fast? Was it? Oh, it was the unemployment rate.
Okay.
The unemployment rate hit 9.8% or something. It was very close to 10%. He was like, at least it's not 13 or 14. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with our gas prices, well, at least it's not $6 a gallon.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got that going for us. At least we're not Europe. And by the way, Europe is still paying, gosh, in some countries, $8, $9 a gallon.
Oh my God.
$10 a gallon. But see, their society is built differently than ours. They're not built for, driving your own car in from the suburbs. They take mass transportation and all that. They've always been happy with that. That's why we left that freaking continent in the first place.
And they're not so happy right now trying to heat their homes.
No, they're not.
So they are, I'm telling you, man, watch Europe. Watch Europe every day. It's getting worse and worse over there. So the current gas prices over in Europe, let's see, the Netherlands checking in at $6.48.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're only paying $6.48 a gallon in the Netherlands.
Let's see. I mean, then you go down.
Wow.
Like the cheapest place in Europe.
Well, in Europe.
Let's see. Romania is a $4.09.
And this is a gallon, right?
Yeah, $4.09.
Not talking liters.
No.
So you'd multiply that by 4.
No, this is in U.S. dollars.
Okay.
So they range from $4.19 to $6.48. I'm surprised. Yeah, I've seen it.
I've seen it higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's down a little bit even there.
Mm-hmm.
So Election Day is almost exactly 2 months away. I think on Monday it's exactly 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going by the date, right? November 8th. It's 2 months from today.
So here's an ad that may give some voters pause as Election Day approaches.
For nearly 30 years, crime was falling in the United States.
Yeah.
No more. national
Scenes
murder
of
rate is at its highest in 25
death and
years.
destruction. Oh!
The result of far-left policies that leave innocent Americans at the mercy of violent criminals. You've seen the images. Subway riders pushed onto tracks by the violently deranged. Stores being looted in broad daylight. Elderly women viciously beaten on the street and outside their homes. Gang shootings turning cities into war zones. Hardened criminals rampaging without fear. No fear of arrest. No fear of prosecution. No fear of jail. No fear of any consequence at all. Instead, you are made to live in fear. Woke progressive prosecutors are releasing dangerous predators before trial. Woke far-left politicians have allowed our streets and parks to be overrun with crime and drugs. Police have been made into the enemy and criminals into a protected class.
That's true.
Violent crime is up 21% in Washington, D.C., 35% Chicago, 41% in New York City, and murders are up 207% in Portland. Cities in chaos, billions in property damages, lives and families destroyed. Stop the woke war on police. Stop the far-left assault on public safety. Stop the radical left-wing love affair with criminals. Stop the insanity.
God, look at that.
Citizens for Senate paid for this ad.
There you go.
Wow.
That's pretty effective, huh?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Jeez. That's really something.
Yeah, so every Republican should be piggybacking and running that ad in their district because it just makes the point that, you know, liberal policies is what got us here.
Crime is up murder is up 207% in Portland. 207%? Sheesh. In Missouri, Republican Eric Schmidt is running against Democrat Trudy Valentine.
This is so bad, dude.
She has a campaign song that's... this is going to do the job, I think.
This will do it. This will do it right here.
This is going to do it.
Okay. I don't...
It's the right time.
You're not going to make
She's
it
the right
to the
choice
end.
with a caring heart. She's a brand new voice, an inspiration for all to see. Show me Missouri, show me Trudy.
Trudy. You done with this yet?
No, I love it.
Show me stage. The power of love beats the power of hate.
Beats the power of hate.
Breaking
That's
down
good.
walls, time to rearrange. The power structure, it's time for a change. It's the right time. She's the right choice with a caring heart. She's
And
a brand new
voice.
Inspiration for all to see. Show me Missouri, show me Trudy.
Show me Trudy.
She has a show me state.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know if you knew that.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
Time for honesty. Democrats, right there.
It's time to listen, make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
She'll listen to the people of the show me state.
Is this 1970?
Mistake and state, by the way, don't rhyme.
She's the right choice with a caring
Just so you know.
heart. She's a
Brand new voice.
an inspiration for all to see. Show me Missouri, show me
Trudy.
Time to put politics
Yeah.
aside.
Yeah, put 'em aside.
Parents and children will be her guide. We believe Trudy knows how to heal. Send her to Washington.
I can't.
Seal this
Seal this deal.
It's just sad.
It's the right time.
How do you as a
She's the
candidate
right
say,
choice.
yeah, that's awesome.
Breaking
Put that
us
on.
down.
Inspiration for all to see. Show me Missouri, show me
Trudy.
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 See, because Missouri is the show me state.
No, I got it.
So
I've heard you say this.
Caring heart, she's a brand new voice.
it's worth repeating, I think, because some people don't know how clever this is. Watch this. Yeah, see, because Missouri is the show me state.
No, not again.
Yeah, again, Missouri, they call it the show me state.
I got it. I got it.
Surely that's running only on the internet, right?
I don't know.
That's too long and bad for television. Come on. Oh.
What's the
wow.
Do we know the nickname of Missouri? The state of Missouri? What is
I've heard
it?
it's the show me state. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think that's what they call it.
That makes sense.
Show me, and that's why he put it in the lyrics of the
okay,
song.
now I got it.
Show me Missouri, show me Trudy.
Who signs off on that? A supporter sends you that, right?
Yep.
And you don't want to be mean, right?
You say, hey, thank you. That was really fun. It's a little long. We can't really use it.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
But what if they say, well, you can just put it on the internet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Internet's full.
Nope.
The internet is completely jam-packed full.
No, that's not where I was going.
We
but
can't
I like that.
fit it anywhere on the internet now.
We got to wait for some things to roll off.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, oh, shoot, I sent that to my IT guy. Has he not put that up yet? Let me... I'm
going to look into it,
Check on that, and I'll get back to you on that. Yeah. No.
Show me Missouri, show me.
Yeah, because the clever part of that...
It's the volunteer state?
No.
What?
No, it's the show me state. Missouri is.
Oh!
Yeah. So that's why they did that.
There are levels of bad.
I think that's why, yeah.
That's like way off the table level bad. Good luck, Missouri. Make the right choice.
Yeah. So it's also back to school time. One parent snapped this picture of her child's classroom wall. This is fun. Is it set up like Jeopardy? It looks like, with a bunch of categories.
Yeah. Can you?
And the categories are sexual orientation.
Oh, good.
Straight, heterosexual, gender expression, biological sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a sex wall in a young kid's classroom. I'm not sure the grade here, but
LGBT, and then the underneath the LGBT, is
categories
coming out, homosexual, intersex, gender identity, and cisgender. Under the B, questioning pansexual, queer, gender role, heteronormativity.
Where's the letter people? Where are the letter people? Like, why are we doing this? The kids, they don't have a chance today.
They don't. Under the T, we got these categories: LGBT, asexual, ally, gender nonconformist.
Oh my God!
And want to know more?
Want to know more?
No. Yeah. Coming for our children. See, but this was just a joke. It's just a little joke for you breeders. Oh, gosh.
I'll take cisgender for $200. I mean, this is
sick and twisted. And if we don't stop it, we'll bring about the death of us. They'll read about this, 100 years from now and say, wow, how did they let this happen? How could this happen? Did nobody have any common sense? It's like when you're reading the Bible and the Israelites get righteous for a while and then turn so quickly. Just something turns them, like they get too fat and happy and they turn and you're like, how can you do that again? You go through the cycle all the time. And we wonder that about them as we're doing it ourselves over and over and over again.
That's a great point. It's like, wait a minute. At the beginning of this chapter, everything was good.
Yeah,
by the end,
it was good. And now look at this.
You heathens. What is your deal?
You people should have put a stop to it.
I wonder what the Kardashians are doing tonight. I'm just going to sit here and eat my Kexi cookies.
Yep. Well, the Kexi part, there's the good part.
That is. You got to have good in a society.
Kexi.com. Brought a box in today because we've got the new Bananas
I'm
Foster.
going to eat this for supper.
It's a Bananas Foster cookie.
Yeah, I'm going to eat it's going to be a beer, and I'm going to have a little taste here.
Okay. And they're worth it.
Dude, that is so good.
That good?
Y'all hit another home run.
Yeah.
Should be illegal. They're so good.
It's delicious. Kexi.com. 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 So a dad took his 3-year-old son to the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
In this society, as we wonder how the people of ancient times kept doing things over and over. Look at this.
All right, I need to know if any parents of young kids have had this same experience. So we just took my 3-year-old son in the doctor for a checkup. My 3-year-old son. Okay, there's a reason why I'm emphasizing that, and you're about to know why.
Okay.
So my wife and I are waiting in the room with our son, and the doctor comes in. And he sees my son sitting there on the table, and the first question that he asks him is, are you a boy or are you a girl? And I look at my wife like, what the? So luckily my son understands obvious tenets of biology at 3 years old and says that he's a boy, just like his chart says. So the rest of the appointment, I can't even focus because I'm wondering why in the world this guy is asking the question. And then I remember, oh yeah, I live in California. And call me paranoid, but this is where I think we're heading based on other things that have happened. An Ohio couple lost custody of their teenager for refusing them hormone treatment. And a divorced Texas couple were in a court battle over whether or not to let their 7-year-old transition from a boy to a girl. And many are saying that the new proposed Equality Act could lead to more parents losing custody of their kids who want gender transition. So again, call me paranoid, but I'm wondering if the doctor is asking the question of my son to see if he can establish a pattern over time that shows that my son wants to be a girl. But here's the thing. My son is 3. I'm not even going to let him choose what he wants for dinner. And some days, my son thinks he's a dinosaur. But I'm not going to let him transition to a dinosaur. And being in California, this is probably going to happen to people like me first. But I don't think it's going to be long before we start seeing parents lose custody of their young kids because they're not letting them transition to the opposite gender. And I think pediatricians are going to be the ones who are going to start calling it out.
Exactly right.
Yeah. In fact, you've got a mom on social media being attacked now. I didn't send this in, but her daughter was getting pressure to, change your gender, do all this good stuff. So she took her out of school and away from the groomers that were employed there. And she's homeschooling now. And she just listed all the things she's doing to ensure that her daughter has a healthy childhood now. And she says it's remarkable. In the course of a year, the transition to normal, and she's thriving now. Her daughter is. And the mom has had to install software to protect, to make sure she's not going to websites, keyword searches pop up type thing. And she won't let her daughter go to friends' houses where she doesn't know and trust the parents. She's protecting her child and her childhood. And of course, the left is now saying, this is child abuse. How dare you limit your child's options in this world? And oh my gosh, you got to stay strong. You got to go with the common sense like this dad and that mom.
Yep.
It's just
we're going to ride this storm out.
Save your kids.
And not cave into this absolute insanity. Let me tell you about Raycons. I love these. I love these Raycon everyday earbuds. They look, they feel, they sound better than ever. They're so great. They stay in your ears. They've got a little gel thing that fits on the end of them for pretty much any ear hole size.
That's the most important thing.
It is, because I hate it when they fall out.
It doesn't matter how good they sound if they don't stay in your ears.
Exactly. But these have the added benefit of sounding great and staying in your ears. Plus, Raycons give you 8 hours of playtime, 32-hour battery life. Then when you need to charge, super easy. You just put them back in their case. And this is a huge selling point. You get the same quality audio as the other premium audio brands, just at half the price. Incredible. You're going to love them. I wonder what life was like before Raycon earbuds. Fantastic. You're going to want to get a pair or two. Great for Christmas gift giving. A little early, but better early than never. Go to Buy Raycon, B-U-Y, buyraycon.com/gray, and get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/gray to get 15% off right now.
Pat Gray. Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
With some tweets. Sons of Thunder 42 tweets. When we can afford to travel by car anymore, probably meant when we can't afford to travel by car anymore, will there be a walking tax?
Don't.
Yeah. You know that Beatles song, The Tax Man? They tell you all the things that are being taxed.
Yeah, don't give them any ideas on the walking tax.
Don't. Becky tweets, gas this morning in Spartanburg, South Carolina was $3.28 per gallon. Funny how gas prices are coming down the closer to the elections.
Isn't it?
Yeah. OG Thor, Trudy Bush Valentine, the beer heiress.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
She's got the Bush beer deal. Yes.
Yeah. Another out-of-touch elitist Democrat, Gina P., I saw gas in Warner Robins, Georgia for $2.95 yesterday.
Don't try to show up my $2.99, yo.
They're doing it, Keith.
$2.95 in Georgia.
This is like an in your face.
Right?
Nicole Archer tweets, if gas went down to $3 when Trump was POTUS, the mainstream media would have crushed him. That's for sure. Liberty Trucker tweets, great. I have to drive through Missouri later tonight, And now I'm going to have that horrible song stuck in my head all night.
Show me Missouri, show me Trudy.
See, because the reason they're singing the Show Me Missouri is because Missouri's motto is the Show Me State.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, so he included it, I think. I think that's why
that was a crafty move by that lyricist.
Crafty. Big time. Oh, there it is. Yeah, because, see, it's a Show Me State,
Trudy.
Missouri. Missouri is a Show Me State.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. So, Show Me.
Uh-huh.
Trudy.
Trudy.
And it kind of rhymes.
It's so bad.
Show Me and Trudy.
So insanely bad.
Yeah, I know.
I would not, like, let's just say I'm an independent voter. I don't know anything about the issues. I hear that. I'm done. You're off my list.
No question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, because trying to sell your home is a big, big challenge. It's why you need a real estate agent who's going to come in and take charge of the situation, help you to know what needs to be done, what you should just leave alone and just sell as is. Really important stuff. Save you a lot of money, make you a lot of money on the sale of your home. Because if it sits there for a long time unsold, inevitably, you're going to have to bring down the price, and that really sucks. Real estate agents I trust, whether you're buying or selling or doing both because you're relocating, these are the people you need to get you through that stressful process. Real estate agents I trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thank you for noticing. Welcome, 888-933-93. In this world gone mad, there's a lengthy article about Jennifer Lawrence in Vogue. Have you read that? I bet you've read it a couple times, right? Because you didn't get all the subtle nuance the first time around, so you went back and read it again.
Yeah.
That's how thorough you are.
I read it many times.
Yeah.
In fact, I challenged myself. I read it in Choctaw.
Oh, really?
The lost Indian language there. Because I was like, look, if I'm going to read this thing a dozen times, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Wow, that's dedication, Keith.
I mean, you that's tell impressive. Us, I don't want to steal your thunder here and tell you what it said.
But of course, you know that she has recurring nightmares about Tucker Carlson. So,
I mean, just pathetic.
How stupid is that?
I mean, why would you even, if that's true?
You know she's never watched a full episode of Tucker Carlson, and not in her life. She's probably seen a clip. You have recurring nightmares about Tucker Carlson?
If I'm Tucker, this is a badge of honor.
Oh.
I'm like,
absolutely.
Awesome. You're welcome. This is so cool. If this were true, let's just...
You're starting and ending the show with it.
Yeah. If this were true, why would you even say that out loud?
It's so stupid.
Why would you tell an article?
Then she talks about how she had to forgive her parents because they voted for Trump. She's such a psycho. Well, they get all their information from just one place, unlike her, where you know she's involved in reading and consuming all manner of websites and news shows. If she's ever turned the channel from CNN, I'd be shocked. Of course, I don't know. She probably doesn't even watch CNN. She just hears from her Hollywood friends at the parties she attends. It's just so ridiculous. What a world. Then you get to the Democrats. Nearly 1 in 4 of them. Nearly 1 in 4 Democrats. That's 25%. Believe men can get pregnant. Men can get pregnant.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
It was an online survey conducted by WPA Intelligence from August 22nd to 25th. Oh, okay, 22%, so not quite 25. 22% of Democrats agreed with this statement. Some men can get pregnant. The percentage rose when only including women, and a whopping 36% of white college education females, college-educated female Democrats concurred.
It tells you everything you know about college, too.
Yeah, some men can get pregnant. No, if they can get pregnant, they're not men. Okay?
Wait. Hold on. I got to write this down.
Yeah.
You said
if they're pregnant, or they can get pregnant, they're not men.
I knew I should have written it.
Yeah. Might want to scratch it down now just for future reference. Overall, few Americans think men can get pregnant, according to the managing director, Connor McGuire. But with 36% of a core Democratic constituency And 1 out of 5 Democrat voters believing this. One can see why Democratic leaders coddle the radical gender theory movement. It's wow. A Pew Research poll found that about 5% of young adults in the U.S. overall, so you're not just polling Democrats here, but 5% believe it's possible to identify into a gender that differs from their biological sex. Okay, so if you think you're a man, even though you're a woman. I mean, this kind of insanity just has to stop. Nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. But I'm sorry if...
It's reality.
Yeah, and you're a woman who transitioned into a man and you get pregnant, well, then you still have your body parts that allowed you to be pregnant. That means you're a woman.
Okay.
Sorry. Actually, I'm not. It's just science. It's just biology.
It's madness.
And we're the ones that are supposedly the science deniers, the deniers of the climate, the deniers of this and that. And then we have polls like this, and they find college-educated women believe men can get pregnant. No, they can't. Jeez. Leading trans health group says girls at 15 can have breasts removed. Boys at 17 can get rid of their testicles. Their giblets, if you will.
This is their recommendations, huh?
Yeah.
This is madness.
Yeah. Suggesting that you wait way until 15 for the girls and 17 for the boys. Interesting. Why is there a different age? Aren't we the same? Aren't we exactly the same?
Fair point.
The World Professional Association for Transgender Health, WPATH, which we all love and appreciate. They've stated it will release its new guidance before the organization's annual conference in Montreal. Well, this seems a little bit on the conservative side because a lot of people are claiming that, hey, if your 7-year-old wants to transition, you should allow it. And you're going to lose your child if you don't. Huh. WPATH's 2011 guidance, Standards of Care version 7, stated mental health professionals should not impose a binary view of gender. They should give ample room for clients to explore different options for gender expression. Genital surgery should not be carried out until patients reach the legal age of majority in a given country.
How about
and
adult?
Patients have lived continuously for at least 12 months in the gender role that is congruent with their gender identity.
Yeah, so this group, WPATH...
So they've changed a little bit since then.
Yeah, so it's just insanity. Hang on. What does it stand for?
WPATH?
Yeah, it's the World Professional Association for Transgender Health.
Yep.
These people are crazy, and we got to play a clip of the person that heads this up. This lady is going to explain to us about children, and this is horrifying to listen to. I mean, your kid, your transitioning kid, is a science experiment for them, and they're openly admitting it. You got to play this. I don't know what clip it is, guys. It's clip number 13.
The second was an observation that I had that every single child or adolescent who was truly blocked at Tanner stage 2 has never experienced orgasm. I mean, it's really about zero.
Wow.
These are just assigned male at birth, so trans feminine, and it's because they never in their lives are exposed to testosterone. That doesn't change. That doesn't change. So blockers prevent the rise of testosterone, and they don't really go on testosterone at or around surgery or into adulthood. And so we don't know. They're going to have this sensation. There's no question about that.
We're just experimenting on it.
But are they going to be able to achieve sexual satisfaction? It's important in relationships. And I know that from my
I guess
work
it's
with
important.
female genital mutilation survivors, that the lack of being able to be intimate with a partner is very important. And so this is what really raised the red flag for me, is to say, look, we need to have our eyes open about it. I think it's been beneficial talking about it. I know Joe and many others have reported to me, they've changed their approach a little bit in their informed consent models, and that we're talking about masturbation now. We're talking about okay, that's an area of the body that's got very dysphoric for you. But you know what? It's all a penis is just a large clitoris.
Okay.
I mean, we're all
right. We got.
I've never thought of it that way. Have you, Keith?
So, use it.
Thanks for that perspective. That's really good.
Pleasurable purposes, partially that it was intended.
But we're just figuring it out as we go along. Yeah, we'll see what happens to it.
These are
whatever.
We don't know.
To be answered questions.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep butchering them.
Frightening. And get good adult results. And secondly, how do we assure someone that they're going to be able to be sexually responsive? Do we remove the blockers during the course of their
We don't know. We're just messing around.
And let a little bit of puberty
Let's try
come
it.
back.
Yeah,
Do
try
we
something
delay
here,
it a little bit,
a little something
maybe
there.
Into Tanner's 3 or 4,
Snip something
they
there.
have their first orgasm.
We have no idea. We're just messing around, just winging it, y'all, on your kids. It's evil. It's absolutely evil.
Yep.
And they are just your kids are science experiments for them. That's all they are. It's grotesque.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Let me tell you about preborn. Here's another important issue. 1 out of every 5 Americans never has a chance to live outside the womb because of abortion. You believe that? 20% of babies are aborted. Leading cause of infant death the world over.
Yeah. What is it? What is the grand total? 1.5 billion?
In the world? Yeah, it's like close to 1.5 billion.
Oh, gosh.
Since 1973.
Yeah.
1.5 billion. 63 million here in the U.S. Probably more than that now. It's probably 64 or 65 million. But that's why the Ministry of Preborn and Blaze are partnering to try to rescue 50,000 babies from abortion in 2022. They're working to put Planned Parenthood out of business by providing free ultrasounds to expecting mothers, because 80% of the time when they're shown the ultrasound, when they hear the baby's heartbeat, that's enough to convince the mother that, yes, this is human life. This is a separate life from your body. And when she chooses life, Preborn then provides maternity clothes, baby clothes, diapers, car seats, counseling, all kinds of things. And they do that for free because of your donation. So whatever you can afford would be greatly appreciated. If you'll help us, it would be one of the best things you can do with your money. To donate, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby. Or go to preborn.com/pad.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
To sort of put things into perspective, we have a woman who is sort of debating with a 1950s woman, the 1950s version of women, with what is going on today.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to come here to the future?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Welcome to 2022, where you can do anything a man can do. I am so excited to finally be here. You are going to love it. Feminism has done so much for women. Do tell. No more aprons, first of all. Oh, do we finally have a butler to cook for us? Oh gosh, no, you'll just eat pre-made greasy crap out of a bag on your way to and from work. I suppose that sounds convenient, so I get to work outside the home? Totally. You get to sit in a cubicle all day while you stare at a computer screen, chugging coffee. So liberating, right? I suppose. I'm at work all day. Will we finally have a Rosie the Robot maid? No, you'll still have to do all the cleaning. That's what your weekends are for, cleaning and laundry. Oh, and errands and yard work. Wait, so I have to work full time plus still manage my home full time? I mean, you want to have it all, right? Okay, but what about my husband? Is he amazing? What? No, you're not married. You live alone with your cat. What? You do date though. A lot. You can just have sex with whoever, whenever you want. That sounds kind of gross, actually. Just pick them off of this app. What about pregnancy? Oh, there's this magic pill you take. Totally wrecks your hormones, but keeps you from getting pregnant so you can, knock some boots. The pill is magic. Well, it's mostly effective, but don't worry. If by chance you do get pregnant, you can totally just kill the baby by having an abortion. Why would I do that? So you can get back to work. Duh. Someone has to fill that cubicle space. Okay, am I at least happy? I mean, yeah, as long as you don't skip your antidepressant pill. Another magic pill. Gotta cope somehow. I think I'll just stay here.
Yeah.
Get to have purple hair.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, she threw out the biggest thing at the end there.
The purple hair.
Purple hair.
Well, that'll get you to
jump
into the future.
I mean, come on.
Boy, simpler time.
Yeah.
Don't get those days back.
Apparently not. Apparently not. Also, Pathead Heather 86 sent us this nugget from Illinois.
Oh, yeah. This
non-detainable offenses under the Safety Act.
Illinois, what are you doing?
The following crimes would become non-detainable offenses after the Safety Act goes into effect, meaning that criminals will be allowed to be charged with and released for these crimes without bail. Second-degree murder.
Wait, released without bail?
Released without bail. First one on top. Second-degree murder.
Okay.
Drug-induced homicide. Arson. Aggravated battery. Kidnapping. Burglary. Robbery. Intimidation.
Wait, what?
Aggravated DUI. Aggravated fleeing and eluding. Drug offenses threatening a public official. Wow. That's starting January 1st, 2023 in Illinois. That's fun. Huh. Another great idea from Democrats. Thank you, Democrats.
What in the world?
You got to ask the question again. If you were trying to destroy the country, what would you do differently?
Illinois is the first state in the country to abolish cash bail.
Wow.
Well, let's see how that experiment works.
Well, you know it's going to go great.
Okay.
They're going to love that. It just makes it more safe and secure. It really does. Okay, they got the toughest gun laws in the country, and now that you can't defend yourself, we're not even going to keep violent criminals in jail.
But you gotta love what safety, because you know they always have these cutesy little acronyms. The Safety Act is the Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today. Boy, they really shoehorned that one in there.
They're trying too hard there.
Equity Today Act.
Okay. How about if we make a bill that's not about being safe and we just call it safe? Because it's the opposite of what it really does.
Yeah, no one's going to read past the headline.
Right. They'll just think, oh, the Safety Act, that sounds really good.
I feel safer already.
I like that.
Just based on the title of the act.
Don't forget, by the way, tomorrow is the debut of Moron Trivia this year. Moron Trivia already back.
Mm-hmm.
Which means the NFL starts, well, tonight, right?
Yeah.
Who's the matchup? It's Baltimore.
No, it's the Buffalo Bills at the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams.
That's a really good matchup. That should be
fun.
fun.
Sure is. Should be high scoring.
Fun.
37-35 Buffalo. Let's see. But our Moron Trivia game will feature the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Tom Brady and Dak Prescott.
And so we hope we can get people to answer the phone in those two areas.
We'll be lucky if we get 2 quarters accomplished.
We will. But more on trivia. Back. And this time, it's pissed. Tomorrow, right here, on most of this same broadcast.
Most of it.
Most of it, yeah. Did you see the Cumulus? Just to give you a little glimmer of good news.
Oh, this is great. Yes.
Broadcasting giant Cumulus Media just severed ties with Podcast Movement, the trade association that held a big podcasters convention.
Mm-hmm.
And
right here.
Yeah, it was here in Dallas, and Ben Shapiro actually showed up at it. And there were a whole bunch. There was Ben Shapiro and a bunch of progressive broadcasters. And so some of them were actually harmed by Ben Shapiro's presence. And so they said they were dismayed and disappointed that Shapiro was there, and they were really sorry that they allowed that to happen because some people were triggered, and it hurt the feelings of others. And, oh, man, they can't apologize enough. We'll never let this happen again.
Oh, yeah.
We're sorry Ben Shapiro was in this building. I don't think he spoke or anything. People were just pissed and hurt and offended that he showed up. Are you kidding me? So, because of that, Cumulus said, yeah, we don't want anything to do with you mealy-mouthed morons.
I mean, their tweets
were
were just so pathetic, and I'm trying to find their exact verbiage.
Yeah, because it was amazing.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was amazing. But Cumulus said, after giving the leaders of podcast movement sufficient time to appropriately address their misstep, we're disassociating from podcast movement, including canceling our 2023 sponsorship plans. Good for you, Cumulus, because these guys are so woke and so stupid that they apologized. Ben Shapiro showed up at a podcasters event. So Cumulus said, okay, if you're going to be like that, no, we don't want anything to do with you.
I mean,
how about that? That doesn't happen.
Podcast movement's tweet when it happened, when Ben Shapiro was
when he was there,
standing there waiting for a car.
Triggered people.
Yeah. Hi, folks. We owe you an apology before sessions kick off for the day. Yesterday afternoon, Ben Shapiro briefly visited the PM22 Expo area near the Daily Wire booth.
Oh, no.
Though he was not registered or expected, we take full responsibility for the harm done by his presence. There's no way around it.
The harm.
We agreed to sell the Daily Wire a first-time booth based on the company's large presence in podcasting. The weight of that decision is now painfully clear. Shapiro is a co-founder. A drop-in, however unlikely, should have been considered a possibility. Those of you who call this unacceptable are right. In 9 wonderful years growing and celebrating this medium, PM has made mistakes. The pain caused by this one will always stick with us. We promise that sponsors will be more carefully considered moving forward. So Cumulus saw that.
That's because Ben Shapiro was in the building.
Yeah, gave them a couple of weeks to fix this ridiculous statement. They did not, and so Cumulus saying, bye-bye, love it.
Ben Shapiro did not beat anyone senseless while he was there.
That we know of, sir.
He didn't yell profanities at anyone while he was there. He didn't set the conference on fire. He walked into the place and then later left and never. They didn't speak. He didn't speak. He didn't have a speech.
I know. Listen.
Nothing.
Listen to this. This is podcast movement continuing their groveling.
Oh, okay, good.
Just to clarify, no Daily Wire representatives were scheduled to appear on panels, and Shapiro remained in the common space and did not have a badge. If you have questions, we're here to talk. Thank you for reading, and we hope you'll continue.
Where's
to
our
join
counselors?
us.
Why haven't you sent counselors?
Right.
I need to have somebody to help me, talk me through this. I can't function. Yeah. They didn't even set up a cry closet, Keith, and Ben Shapiro was in the building.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just...
So thank you, Cumulus, for putting a stop to any involvement with podcast movement. That's brilliant.
So I've got a couple of tips here for podcast movement going forward. So when they do their next event, a year from now, presumably, right? Mm-hmm. You could probably go ahead and rent a much, much smaller space, because I don't know that you're going to need the Irving Convention Center like you used this time. And also, don't forget the cry closets. Maybe the University of Utah could loan a couple out.
All right.
And put them there in the main areas. So.
This, again, just in case a conservative walks through the convention.
I mean, this is the society
outrageous.
that we have.
It is so outrageous.
It started with the participation trophies.
Right. Yes.
And then it went to the bike helmets, if you want to even go down the driveway.
Uh-huh.
And then it just escalated from there to the self-esteem bull crap and to there are no wrong answers in your classroom. And before you know it, you have the right to be offended by every single thing.
Red ink in correcting papers in school. It was too upsetting for people. And do you remember, I'm going to say it again, at the time, I said this multiple times, wait till these kids grow up and graduate and then have to find themselves in the workplace where they're not accommodated like this. Nobody's going to bend over backward and baby them through the workforce. Well, we were completely wrong when we thought those things. Who would have ever guessed businesses would cave to all of this stuff?
Yeah. And
it's incredible.
And force their employees to sit through these ridiculous sessions where you just get to find out how bad of a person you are if you're a conservative or white or a dude.
Yeah.
But hopefully, podcast movement, I hope that their business model crashes and burns because of this, and I hope that they learn a lesson.
Yep. Because I'm so tired of this kind of stuff. This is so asinine. They should have just said, look, he walked through the building. Shut up.
Get over yourself.
Yeah. If you don't like it, don't come to the convention next year.
Seriously.
Okay? We're not going to apologize. What would happen if you didn't apologize for it?
And how many people complained about this? And if it was more than one, right? And if it was more than one, you just copy and paste the response.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that you were offended. I hope you had a good time otherwise. So, and you just keep copy and paste reply.
Or you just say, "Oh well."
Yeah.
Get over it. Jeez. All right, we've got overtime coming up. See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.